Hello, I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life. And isn't it great when somebody can steal a whole bunch from you and get away with it? I mean, so in EVE Online, they have the biggest theft ever of over 1 trillion ISK. And that's a lot of ISK for those of you who don't play the game. It's a serious amount. In fact, it's worth over 50,000 US dollars. Now, you say these people should be banned or whatnot, but it doesn't work that way in EVE Online. In EVE Online, it is the wild, wild west, and this kind of behavior is, I don't know if it's encouraged, but it's certainly allowed. It reminds me of the old days when, in Ultima Online, when it was just a wild, wild west because nobody knew anything about how players were going to interact with each other and all the scams that went on and all this stuff. And to me, it was a very exciting time. And this is one of the reasons why I like EVE Online, because I like the risk. I mean, when well, let me get into what happened just a little bit more. So this was a Ponzi scheme, and they took in, let's see, Phaser Inc. took in 1.8 trillion ISK, and then they paid out people a percentage, weekly or monthly, something like that, over time. And as they took in more investors, they would use those investors to pay the older investors so that everyone would get comfortable and say, hey, I'm earning money. You should invest in this. Well, what happens is it's called a Ponzi scheme. And what happens is eventually it hits some kind of a maximum potential. They got over 4,000 players to submit money to them, or ISK to them, for this scheme. And so then they would make their payouts and everything. And finally, when they hit 1 trillion ISK that they had in their coffers, they closed it all down. In fact, they said, sayonara. In fact, they posted on their website exactly what they did. And if you look in the description, I will post a link to their page where they talk about exactly what they did. They're bragging about it. I mean, this is one of the fascinating things about EVE, is that it is so Wild West. And people like, I have this acquaintance that I met at Login last year at the video game conference. He's a lawyer in the video game industry. He plays EVE Online, and he thinks it is super cool to scam you out of your money. And, where else can someone who is a lawyer, who's trusted in the community and everything, to do things ethically and legally, and be able to clearly in black and white see in the game that you can go and be ruthless and be a thief and scam all these people and enjoy the hell out of it. One of these days I'll get him on camera for an interview. He's a really interesting guy. So this this whole thing is just an incredible dollar amount, worth over $50,000, and it's let's see here. I can't believe, but it's like over 2,953 plex is what it comes out to. I mean, Shatter Crystal sells the game time codes, and two of them equal, it's $34.99 or something like that for 60 days, and you can turn that into 2 plex. And that's just, I can't imagine that kind of money, and getting that amount of money in the game. Going back to Ultima Online, what was really cool about all of this, the Wild Wild West stuff, is how it held my interest, because there was so much risk, and I loved the risk. The risk is really what, for many MMOs, is really the thrill to me. And it's not about, well, sense of adventure in games is fun to me, but the sense of risk and potentially losing everything. I mean, I remember the first time I got killed in the game, and it was, I had a bunch of really valuable stuff on me. God, I was mad. Oh boy, was I mad. But that's the game. That's the risk. You do all these elaborate little things to protect yourself and figuring out all that stuff. And now I was always a good guy. I tried being a bad guy. I tried going out and killing other players and taking their stuff. Just wasn't me. Didn't work out very well. But anyway, this is why I love EVE Online. And if you haven't tried EVE, you may want to. They call it the spreadsheet or Excel. You know, the game of Excel. Because it is very businesslike. It's very mathematical, and there's a lot of big corporations do a lot of big business and everything, and it allows for stuff like this to happen. So whether you are somebody who enjoys the risk or you are somebody who enjoys doing this to other people, you should check out the game if you haven't already done so. I know the game's been around for a while, but it is beautiful. The game keeps getting updates, and it is gorgeous, gorgeous. So anyway, I was just amazed about over $50,000 stolen worth of ISK in this Ponzi scheme, and just wanted to share it with you. Take care.